Well, we're back, folks. This is the last show of the day. This is it, the 1 o'clock workshop on the first Saturday, the last one for today, and it's me, yours truly, Joe Messino. And this is a phrase you hear over and over and over in our industry. Especially when it's the functional medicine or functional nutrition side of the industry. You don't hear it very much, if at all, in allopathic medicine. I wonder if they ever even remember it. The phrase is, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. This is a direct quote from Hippocrates. Everybody is in agreement that Hippocrates is the father of medicine. And this was his quote. Now, I'm sure back in Hippocrates' time, 4,000 years ago, I'll bet food was a powerful, powerful medicine. Unfortunately, he never had to deal with things like GMOs. GMOs, genetically modified organisms. There weren't any of those in Hippocrates' time. And what is a genetically modified organism? This is where they take a seed and start messing with it in a laboratory, splicing it, combining it, creating it, recreating it. Okay, credit where credit's due. I'm sure the scientists, in their heart, when they started doing this, thought we can better feed the world. Larger crops, more abundant food. But you ever hear the phrase, don't mess with Mother Nature? Yeah, well, evolution's a funny thing. It takes thousands, hundreds of thousands, and sometimes millions of years for evolution to actually take place in living organisms. So when you take a food that humans have been consuming tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years, and you change it without changing the human who's consuming it, well, all you got to do is look to old science fiction, right? Like the Frankenstein. You start messing with Mother Nature and something's going to go wrong. Hippocrates never had to deal with glyphosate. Glyphosate, you know what that is, right? Roundup. Everybody sprays it on their weeds. It's used in every wheat crop in this country, unless it is a certified USDA organic wheat crop. Everything else gets sprayed with glyphosate. Every soy crop, every corn crop, they get sprayed, and that's just the beginning. The vegetables, the fruits, all of them. What is glyphosate? Well, it kills weeds. And when you spray it, say on wheat, right before harvest, it ignites a growth spurt. It's like shooting it with adrenaline, but it's artificial. And when you do that right before harvest, it's right in the wheat. It's part of the wheat, and we're consuming it on a regular basis if we're eating non-organic wheat. There was a lawsuit that was actually won by somebody against Monsanto for the use of glyphosate Roundup in the cause of his cancer. You don't need Roundup to kill your weeds, folks. I'll tell you later how you can do that. Then there's just your everyday run-of-the-mill pesticides. Not the king of them all, not the Franken wheat, that's out there, but every run-of-the-mill pesticide that's out there. Hippocrates didn't have to deal with those. How about the nutrient depletion in our soil? Now, in 1937, The Department of Agriculture went to Congress and said, we got a problem. The mineral content in the soil is depleted. 1937. I wasn't around yet. I'll bet most of you weren't around. But guess what they did? You know what they did? Nothing. Nothing. So if it was depleted of its minerals then, what do you think it is now? How can we have food be our medicine if the nutrient that is the medicine is what's depleted? This one kills me. Absolutely kills me. Who in their right mind, and maybe that's the problem, but who in their right mind would put something in their mouth where the first word is artificial? Do you eat plastic on a regular basis? Do you eat paint on a regular basis? Do you eat water, even watercolors? Artificial colors? Are you kidding me? So do you think anywhere along our evolutionary line, our bodies, these magnificent machines, learned how to process red number 40 or yellow number 6? No, we can't process them. What happens when your body can't process something you ingest? It sticks around, causes havoc, does destruction. Artificial anything should not go in your mouth. It cannot possibly be medicine, and it cannot possibly be food. Hydrogenated fats. Oh my God. You take something that's of the earth and you destroy it and you use it as a food preservative. Every single oil on a supermarket shelf that is not pressed, every single oil that is not a food you can eat in its whole sense, is a hydrogenated oil, and it's a poison. Every oil used to deep fry every fish during Lent is a poison. Is that letting medicine be your food? Is that letting food be your medicine? Or is that letting food be your poison? Think about that. My favorite of all time, and I say that in a sarcastic manner, is canola oil. Canola oil. Now here's the bottom line. Here's the rule of thumb. If you can eat it in its whole sense, it's okay to use it as an oil, like avocados. You can eat avocados. You can eat avocado oil. Grapes. You can eat grapes. You can eat grapeseed oil. Olives. You can eat olives. You can eat olive oil. There's an exception, and that's corn. You can eat corn, but you shouldn't eat corn oil because you know why? It's not pressed. It's refined. It's chemically refined. But the worst of them all is canola. Because I challenge anybody live here in person or listening online, anywhere in the world, I challenge you, let me see you eat a canola. Can't do it, can you? Why? Because it doesn't exist. There is no food called a canola. It stands for Canadian Oil Company. You didn't know that? No, but don't you know, you see even chefs and these healthy chefs, so-called healthy chefs, and these guys on the Food Channel, which I love the Food Channel, they use canola oil because they've been led to believe it's a healthy alternative. It's not. It comes from a plant. Give them that. But the name of the plant is rapeseed. It's poisonous in nature until it's refined. When it's refined, you can consume it. It's still poisonous, if you ask me, even when it's refined and put into an oil. Well, we could have put artificial sugars up there with the artificial flavors and colors. But I think this is where people get the most misled, is with sugars, because they've been taught sugar is going to kill you. Oh, we can't do sugar, but we can do saccharin, and we can do aspartame, and we can do ACE K, and we can do, I don't know, the pink one, the blue one, the yellow one. I mean, they're all over the place. There's not a single one of them that's good for you. Not one. Why would a food need to be preserved? Because it's not something that you could just go out, grab, and eat. It has to sit on a shelf for months, maybe years. Maybe their intentions were good. Maybe their intentions were, we need to have this food available, feed the masses. The results, though, are killing us. And here we have it. My favorite, microwaves. Now, there's these food companies out there, Fresh Foods, and all these packaged fresh foods that are healthy. Somebody's making a lot of money selling these foods, food in the mail, I call it. And some of them are really, they seem to be healthy on the surface. But guess what they tell you to do with them? Put them in a microwave. Why would you do that? I hope everybody that's out here today and listening is not using their microwave to cook their food. If you are, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand. I hate when speakers do that. But if you are, stop now. Now. Because you're killing yourself. You are poisoning yourself when you microwave food. Not only that, I'm going to answer that question. Not only that, but if you just, I can't tell you how many people come up to me and say, Joe, I just put my water in there for my tea. Heat my water up for my tea. You're poisoning yourself. Because what a microwave does with that pounding radiation is it changes the molecular structure of water. It changes it from a nutrient to a non-nutrient. If it's not a nutrient, it's a poison. Has anybody in here ever done my microwave test? Nobody? Good. I want you to try it. If you don't believe me, that microwaves turn water into poison. All you got to do is microwave some water, about 2 minutes, like you would any food. Let it cool and start watering a plant with that water. You'll kill it dead in less than 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days, you'll kill it dead. Try it. I haven't had a single person that tried it honestly come back to me and say that didn't work. Every single one said it worked. You got weeds? Instead of Roundup, use your microwave. Kill your weeds. Throw it out if you don't want to use it for that. But whatever you do, don't use it for your food or your water or your microwave popcorn or your healthy meals in the mail. Poison. We're killing ourselves. And there's the old food in the mail. I used to only call this Nutrisystem. If you want to tell you, what it really is. Did you ever see what Nutrisystem is? It's so loaded with preservatives. People lose weight. You know why they lose weight? Because they're starving when they eat that stuff. And then later on, the sickness sets in from the nutritional deficiency. There is no nutrition in those foods from Nutrisystem. Besides that, they lie to you. They show you that great commercial. You don't get what's in that commercial. You only get the vacuum packed stuff. You don't get the buns or the vegetables. You can eat a hamburger. Yeah, right. No, none of the fresh foods. That's a waste of money and it's killing you. All right. Thank you very much. Calorie counting is probably the single biggest diet fad and fraud that we've ever had. That's what most people say. What do you mean? Everybody, health people, fitness people, they all tell you to count calories. Well, remember when I said you couldn't eat a canola? Can you eat a calorie? What's it look like? You have to cook it?
No.
Is it a fruit? Is it a vegetable? What color is a calorie?
Clear.
There is no thing. You cannot eat a calorie. It's a unit of measurement. It's how you measure how your body burns energy. But you can't eat one, so don't count them. This is the biggest diet fad that has ever been perpetrated on the American people. Counting calories. It sold diet plans. That's all it ever did. It won't help you. Will you lose weight? Yeah. Are you healthy? No. No, no, no. Do not count calories. It's a waste of time. Let me ask you something. What if you ate a 1,200 calorie diet? Now, most people would say that's going to make you lose weight, right? What if those 1,200, and they never tell you what breakdown it should be. What if those 1,200 calories were all sugar? Would that be good? It's only 1,200 calories. It'll kill you. You can't do it. Don't count calories. Biggest fad ever on all time. And there's all of them, right? There's all the fads. There was the Atkins. That was one of the first ones, right? There was some science to his, okay? And it was never meant to be for the rest of your life. Never. He didn't want you to eat, bacon the rest of your life and nothing else. He wanted you to do it in a short amount of time to put your body into ketosis. Okay, fine. And then you start bringing back all those foods in, the healthy ones that you had eliminated. But fad diets are nothing more than that. They're fads. There's only one diet that anybody on this planet should eat. OTE, of the earth. If it walked, flew, swam, or grew, it's okay to eat it. If it promoted life on this planet, it will promote life in you. Do you need to be a vegetarian? No. Is it okay if you are? Sure. Paleo, what's the other? Keto, paleo. There's all kinds. You name it. There's a diet for everything. At last count, I counted 110 fad diets. They all sold books. They all made money. And we're still in the worst health this country has ever been in. Fast food. Somebody had a commercial with, we're not fast food, we're food done quick or food done fast. Do you know who that is, Phil? You know how, did you guys ever listen to some of the radio hosts like Howard Stern or maybe Robert Scott Bell? They always have their person over there. We got Phil. And if they had something they needed to look up, they'd say, "Hey, Phil, look this up." But there was some fast food that said we're good food done fast or something like that. Okay, no. The biggest problem that we had in the last couple of years was fast food got delivered to your doorstep. You didn't even have to go to the drive-through anymore. What is it?
Or not fast food or fan food?
Fan food. That sounds like it. That could be it. We had a book here when we had a big, book selection called Serial Killer. Did you ever see it? Okay, if you get a chance, grab it. I mean, we don't have it here now, but it's a great book. And I think you can get it electronically too, but because I do have it electronically. It's called Serial Killer. And it outlines everything that happened over the last, 75 years, 100 years with the Post family, the Kellogg family, all of these big cereal manufacturers. Oh, you want to get your eyes opened? You got to look this up. You got to read this. And it's just, they spell it like this. Instead of serial killer, with an S, it's with a C because cereal is killing our kids. Go down the cereal aisle. Yeah, you eat cereal? Stop. It's not real food. Do you ever see a Cheerio grow on a tree? No, Cheerios don't grow on trees. Yes?
What about the whole grain organic?
Semantics. Whole grain. Yeah, organic. It's in a box, right? In a plastic bag. I have a friend, functional clinical nutritionist in California. He said that a wrapper is not, well, this is extreme, okay? I'll give him, it's extreme. But he said a wrapper is nothing more than a coffin for a dead food. Think about it. And now, even today, I see vegetables wrapped in plastic and sealed, right? No, get away from the cereal. They're not, you know what Dr. Weiner used to call cereal? Cardboard with sugar on it. Right? And then you add that white pus on top of it. Joe's he's getting gross today, huh? You know what white pus is? Dairy.
Oh, dairy.
Yes.
Oh, dairy.
Sugar is white death. Yeah. I'm driving Kristen crazy back there. I can see her. She's hearing Joe's all over it. Look at that. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That means I'm making an impact. Soy everything. Oh my God. Get rid of it out of your diet. Number one most genetically modified food on the planet is soy. Number one. Soybean oil is the biggest killer of men. Soybean oil is the biggest killer of men because it's such a powerful phytoestrogen that it has caused what I call the attack of the man boobs. Nobody, you don't think that's funny? That's usually one of my best jokes, gets my best laughs. No, it's just it's turning that balance of estrogen and testosterone to dust. Soy everything. You can't go down a supermarket aisle and pick up something that's in a bottle, bag, or box and it does not have soybean oil in it. It's impossible. Now, soybeans in and of themselves, right out of the ground, it's a good food. But when every single packaged food has this oil in it that's refined and turned into a poison, it's just killing us. And then we have the big three: fluoride, bromide, and chloride. Three most destructive toxins in our environment and lifestyle. So quit drinking tap water. Get filters for your showers. Get rid of that chlorine in that hot water that's going, getting into your skin because the water's scalding hot and that chlorine just says, ah. We have shower filters back here that block chlorine. You need to do that. Bromide replaced iodine in baked goods 40 years ago. And for the last 40 years, thyroid issues are through the roof. Number one food for the thyroid is iodine. It's not in our diet anymore. We're not getting it. Instead, we get a poison in place of it. Cheap, plentiful. And do we eat bread in this country? Do we? That's right. And what do you do? You can go to any restaurant, good, bad, or indifferent, and the first thing they put in front of you is bread. And what do? We eat it. Now, and then the other thing, when I think about restaurants, I think about, appetizers. And when you cook at home, do you have an appetizer? No, you have a meal. When we were growing up, we never even had dessert except on holidays and birthdays. You go to a restaurant, you got an appetizer, you got a salad, you got a meal, you got a dessert, you got all this. And the cash register keeps going, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Up and up and up, up and up and up. You don't need bread for before your meal. You don't need an appetizer. If we just cut down on portions, we'd be healthier. Okay, so what has this done? It has caused food-based deficiencies. So now instead of food being our medicine, now we have deficiencies instead. The biggest one by far is magnesium. Absolutely the biggest one by far. Magnesium is required in over 300 different metabolic processes in your body. And it's the single most efficient mineral in our culture. Why is it deficient? Remember what I said about the soil being depleted of minerals? Guess what's the number one mineral is depleted in our soil? Magnesium. Okay? Can't get it from food. Food cannot be your medicine. Food supplements can. D3 absorption, this is one of the newer findings that we have. You know, over the last few years, everybody they heard that, you know, D3 is going to help them against these invading viruses, right? And it does. And you know why it does? It does because it occupies the same receptor site on a cell that a virus would. And they both can't occupy the same receptor site. So the higher your serum levels of D3, the less chance it has of taking hold. That's why they kept saying, get your D3 up, get your D3 up. People started taking D3 and their levels weren't going up. One of the reasons is I really like liquid D3 because it absorbs in the mouth, not the gut. But the other reason is we're magnesium deficient. And if you're magnesium deficient, you don't absorb vitamin D3 that you're taking orally. No magic here, just pure science. You can't sleep well if you're deficient in magnesium. Your muscle relaxation is not going to work. Magnesium is needed for so many things. You do. Because it's not in your food. If you're not taking it as a supplement, you need it. It's not in the foods. You can eat all the greens you want. You will not get an ample supply of magnesium. It's been depleted in the soil. Okay? That's why food cannot be our medicine. Killer cells. They don't function properly without magnesium. Now, a killer cell in your body is part of your immune system. It can't stop a virus from coming in, but when it's there, it can help get rid of it. And that's what killer cells do. They attack once it's there. D3 prevents it from taking hold. But without proper magnesium, your killer cells don't work well.
How do you know? Can you apply tests to see if you have?
You can do blood tests for minerals, but you can also do an oligoscan. We have a device here that will test mineral deficiencies in your tissues. It's called the oligoscan. It not only tests mineral deficiencies, 15 different minerals, but it also tests heavy metal toxicity that's accumulated in your tissue, not what's circulating in the blood, not what's out of your hair, not what you've eliminated in your urine, but what's hiding in your fat cells. That's what we have here. You can do that and find out where you are. Okay? Now, magnesium is the fourth most abundant mineral in our body. Can anybody name the first most abundant mineral? Anyone? Come on, you all know what it is. Huh? Calcium. How about the second? Potassium. Very good. How about third? It's another P. Phosphorus. Magnesium's number 4. How about number 5? Sodium. And how about number 6? It's another S. You need it to heal. Best food source is eggs. Sulfur. Did you say sulfur? I can't hear you with your mask on. Okay, sulfur is number 6. Those are the 6 most abundant minerals in your body, and you're not getting them from your food. So, as I said earlier, they found that without the proper amount of magnesium, the D that you ingest stays inactive. It doesn't do its job. That's why many people are not getting their D levels up, because they're magnesium deficient. And in order for you to absorb calcium, you need magnesium. Magnesium helps you absorb it. That's why they're always together in formulations. Because if you take calcium without magnesium, it uses your body's stores of magnesium and you become deficient. So there is rising osteoporosis in this country. Rising atherosclerosis, heart disease, is still number one killer, right? What is the one deficiency that's at the heart of both of these issues? Anybody know? It's a vitamin. It's a vitamin. Nope. Nope, but that's a good guess. We're going to tell you why in a little bit. Vitamin A is the number one deficiency in vitamins for your immune system, though. Right up there with D3. Oh, yeah. It's not calcium. It's not magnesium. No. K2. Single most misunderstood vitamin that we have. Okay? Single most misunderstood vitamin. But it is at the heart of both osteoporosis and atherosclerosis, which is, in our day, we called it hardening of the arteries, right? What is the difference between K1 and K2? Anybody know? Okay, well, it makes all the difference in the world. K1 is green, K2 is fermented. K1 is in green leafy vegetables. K1 is in grass. When a cow eats grass, it takes that K1 and ferments it into K2. And when we eat grass-fed beef products, we get K2. We haven't been eating, except for, maybe recently it's having a resurgence. But our beef products were not grass-fed. What were they fed over the last generation or two? Corn and wheat. They eat corn and wheat. They don't make K2. They don't make K2. We don't get it. We get deficient. Atherosclerosis is on the rise because K2's job in the body is to take that calcium and drive it into the bones and teeth. If you're deficient in K2, it stays in the blood. Doesn't go to the bones. Osteoporosis. It stays in the blood and it clogs the arteries. Atherosclerosis. All back to one vitamin, vitamin K2. I just told you. So Dr. Suzanne Humphries, I love this quote. I put it in here. The matrix of bone will incorporate calcium and other nutrients where they belong as long as other key nutrients are present. So she's talking about calcium. Okay. There was all this big scares about calcium. We've even had people coming in here recently worried about calcium. Don't worry about calcium. Make sure you have the cofactors: magnesium, K2, vitamin A, and D3. K2 was once called Activator X. Dr. Weston Price discovered it. Not many people even knew about it till about 10 years ago. Okay, you knew about vitamin K, but what did you know about vitamin K? It'll thin your blood. Don't eat it. Watch out if you're taking a blood thinner. Don't eat any greens. What a load of crap. Don't eat your greens. You ready for this most famous Joeism of all time? There is not a food on this planet that will thin your blood. Not fish or fish oil, not greens or K1. There is not a food that will thin your blood. The only thing that can thin your blood is a chemical, a drug. No foods. directs the calcium into the bones and teeth. He found this out, Dr. Weston Price, by studying a lot of these very primitive civilizations all over the world. They had great bones and great teeth, but they had very little food. They didn't have the smorgasbord of nutrient-dense foods that we think we're eating, but they sure had enough K2. They had enough K2 because they were getting it from grass-fed beef products, and they fermented their own vegetables. You can do it. But of course, you're not going to make sauerkraut once a week, are you? You know? So you got to get it in a supplement form. But if you do take a head of cabbage, chop it up, add some Himalayan pink salt, squeeze it until the water starts coming out, put it in a jar, seal it and cover it with a towel for 3 days, you've got sauerkraut. Loaded with vitamin K2. That's what it does in a cow's stomach when it's grass. But you're not going to do that. You might do it once a year or so. In the meantime, you got to get your vitamin K2. It will not thin your blood. The runner-up for the most misunderstood vitamin is, you said it, vitamin A. That's right, correct. Most misunderstood. Right up. Now, this one, probably before they said, watch out for vitamin D, take too much, it's toxic, which is not true, which is a flat out lie. And it's ignorant. It's an ignorant thing for a doctor to say. Okay, I'm calling a spade here. It's ignorant for a doctor to say that because he does not understand what these vitamins are. Vitamin D is not a vitamin, it's a hormone. Therefore, it can't be a fat-soluble vitamin. Therefore, there can be no fat-soluble toxicity. Vitamin A, boy, this one was even worse. They told you, look out for vitamin A. Oh, it could be toxic. Don't ever use the word vitamin and toxic in the same sentence again. We've got a lot of toxins out there. I showed you a whole page of them. We don't need to talk about vitamins as toxic. Wow, was this misunderstood? All right, true or false? Carrots, excellent source of vitamin A. True or false? False. There's no vitamin A in carrots.
They always taught us that.
They have beta carotene. It's a precursor to vitamin A in your body. It is not vitamin A. Okay, so we are highly deficient in vitamin A, and communicable viruses and illnesses flourish in a vitamin A deficiency. Measles, mumps, all of those things they give you shots for, it's because we have no vitamin A. It's good for your vision. Look at all the things it does. Good for your skin, your organ integrity. Did you ever see somebody, or maybe you know someone or yourself, get those bumps on the back of their arm? Did you ever see that? Bumps, little bumps. They're not pimples or anything, just little rough bump. That's a vitamin A deficiency. Get them some vitamin A. You need it for your immune system, but they told us it's toxic. So everybody got sick because the immune system had no vitamin A. You see what's happening? Okay, can you read between the lines? Do they want you healthy? Do they want you sick? Because there's no money in you being healthy. Fertility and pregnancy. Vitamin A is a central part of that. Cancer prevention. Did you ever hear that before? No, they told you that vitamin A was toxic and it could lead to cancer. The exact opposite is true.
Where do you get vitamin A from?
Supplement form. You can't get it from food anymore. Okay, here's the myth about toxicity with vitamin A. Okay, there was this really, long, prolonged supplementation. This thing, they researched it and they showed you that. Now, I don't think anybody in here has ever taken over 100,000 IUs of vitamin A, ever. But they had adults taking 100,000 IUs, and they didn't show any signs of toxicity for up to 6 months. They were taking 100,000 IUs a day. And they watched them for 6 months, and there was no toxic buildup. None. No evidence to support. And they told you, don't take more than 3,000. Oh my God, if you're taking 5,000, it's toxic. False. Lies. And if you don't take D3 and K2 with vitamin A, it doesn't do its job. It just doesn't do its job. When they're supplemented together, they work together, the body uses them properly, and there's no excess, there's no buildup. These are all lies. The vitamin A study that I read used a synthetic form of vitamin A with smokers. And they found that it had a detrimental effect with smokers who were sick and toxic to begin with. Only exception to the rule, alcoholics and or liver disease, whether it's alcoholic based or non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Okay, you have to watch that. Now, this is the new saying. Okay, Hippocrates, he's not here anymore. He can't tell us to let food be our medicine and medicine be our food, because it can't. But now you must let food supplements be your medicine. That's the new phrase. Food supplements must be your medicine. The only way you're going to get a therapeutic level is through supplementation. You can't get therapeutic levels of any vitamins in food. You can't get therapeutic levels of any minerals in food. You have to supplement. You have to supplement. Man does not live by food alone. Like what I did with that? Yeah, took the old man does not live by bread alone, turned it into man does not live by food alone. You like that? You got to supplement, folks. And that's why you're here, right? You're all here to do that. But now you know why. And you can spread the word. Super K2 Plus, I don't know if there's a more effective combination out there. You've got a really absorbable, highly absorbable form of K2 and MK7. You've got D3, you've got vitamin A, and you've got magnesium. The missing piece. Do you know the original K2 Plus, Super K2 Plus, did not have magnesium in it, did it? No, it did not. Until we learned about this study. And we found that you now must have magnesium to maximize vitamin D. So we reformulated Super K2 Plus and put magnesium in it. I don't know, how come you're not all getting up to run back there and get a bottle? We talked about this already. Now, let's see if you were listening. What two rising health conditions are positively affected by that formulation? Atherosclerosis, osteoporosis. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, let's take this on a little different direction. Now, we talked about food. Okay, food be your medicine. It's not that way anymore, right? We have medicines. We have medicines. Let's see what they do. What are the consequences of the 3 top medicines out there? And those 3, number 1 is statins. What are the consequences? Prevents production of cholesterol. We know that. That's exactly, they tell us that. They tell us that's what it does. Therefore, you don't have any cholesterol. Well, your brain suffers because it's food. Number 1 food. Number 1 food for the brain is cholesterol. So if you're on a statin, you're going to have dementia. Okay? You're going to have dementia. Yeah. Are you on a statin? Well, we got to fix you. We got to get you off it. You don't need it. You don't need it. Statins are the biggest medical myth ever perpetrated on the American people because they do nothing good. Nothing. Because they approach the problem of cholesterol from the wrong direction. Cholesterol is a vital nutrient. Your body makes it because it needs it. Your brain needs it. Your hormones need it. You can't make hormones without cholesterol. Cholesterol is a hormone. You need it for the integrity of the cellular wall. But let's just stop making it. Let's give you this drug. It'll stop making it. They're approaching it from the wrong direction. Now, all that being said, and I'm probably getting ahead of my slides, but so what? This is why I love doing it like this, because you guys can't read ahead. If they approached it from the right direction, we'd have something. The right direction is if cholesterol, after it's done its job, sticks around too long, if your body can't get rid of it, it will build up. It will form plaque. It will clog arteries. But the answer is not to stop making it. The answer is to prevent the buildup and destroy the buildup. Approach it from the point of oxidation. When cholesterol oxidizes, that's when it becomes a problem. And it only oxidizes if we are in a state of deficiency, which of course we are. Antioxidant deficiency. Two causes of disease, folks: deficiencies and toxicities. That's it. So you know that when the same pathway that cholesterol is made in, so is CoQ10. Your body makes it. Did you know that? Does everybody know your body makes CoQ10? You know you take it, right? But most people don't know your body actually makes it. And it makes it in the exact same chemical pathway as cholesterol. So when you take that statin drug, you're killing all of your CoQ10 as well.
Even though I'm taking that too.
You have to take it to replenish it. But if you're not taking a minimum of 200 to 300 milligrams a day, it's not enough. CoQ10.
Get off the statins.
Yeah, you can do that too. Muscular atrophy, pain in the legs. Do you get pain in your legs with your statin? Yeah. We don't make this stuff up. That's what it does. Why? Because your muscles in your legs require the highest amount of CoQ10. And you're killing it. You're destroying it, so you get pain in your legs. You ever have brain fog? She didn't want to answer it. She does. Yeah. Why? First of all, no cholesterol. Secondly, no CoQ10. The highest levels, serum CoQ10, are in your heart. Okay? Heart, it's a muscle, isn't it? Yeah. A muscle that never stops working. It requires the highest amount of CoQ10. You know what requires the second highest amount? Your brain. If you're taking, how much CoQ10 are you taking? How much? About 100? Maybe. You're not even getting back to zero. Okay? You got to take more. We'll talk. Brain dysfunction. I got to tell this story. You may have heard it before. I have an aunt with Parkinson's. And she was diagnosed 20 years ago with Parkinson's. Okay? Maybe some of you have seen her. We brought her in here. Mary Pat, my Aunt Mary Pat, for a couple of workshops. But she's been on a protocol designed by Dr. Perlmutter, enhanced and modified by us over the years. And her symptoms are hardly noticeable at all. Sure, she takes her Parkinson's meds, but she takes this protocol. The center of it is CoQ10, 1,200 milligrams a day, 1,200. Okay, she went to get a checkup. They did blood work. Her cholesterol was 220. Her PCP said, we're going to put you on a statin. Now, he knows she has Parkinson's. So she called me from the doctor's office and said, he wants to put me on a statin. I said, what's your cholesterol? She said, 220. I said, tell him no. And I said, if he argues with you, put him on the phone. I'll tell him. So she declined it. But this, in my eyes, is malpractice. How can you give a drug to a patient who has a neurological disorder, and this drug will further that disorder by robbing the brain of its food? She has Parkinson's. That should have been a malpractice lawsuit. But it's standard operating procedure. 220, oh, you got to go on a statin. 205, oh, you got to go on a statin. 200. Oh, you better get on a statin. Malpractice. Yes. You know, if you're over 300, then you've got an oxidation issue. You don't have a cholesterol issue that how much you're making, you have an oxidation issue. So yes, but we should approach it from the standpoint of oxidation, not from the standpoint of how much you make in your liver. Okay? It causes liver dysfunction, statins. Why? Because that's what it's targeting. That's the organ where cholesterol and CoQ10 are made. You have a problem with your liver? Okay. Okay. There is a little brain fog. She's looking for you for every answer.
Well, she was looking at me because she was looking at the time.
Oh, you got to go? All right. All right. I'm here all week. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. I'm here all week, folks. Yeah, get your tickets. Come on in. We'll fix you up, okay? All right. Hormone deficiency. Why? I told you at the beginning, it's a hormone, and it's the top of the chain. You need testosterone. If you don't have any cholesterol, you don't get testosterone. It affects it. Okay, so the list goes on and on. D3 synthesis. Along with magnesium, if you have no cholesterol, you won't make. Now, I'm talking about synthesis when you get it from the sun. Okay, when you get D3 from the sun, without cholesterol in your skin, you don't turn those UVB rays into D3, cholecalciferol. So if you're on a statin and you go out in the sun, think you're going to get some D3, not going to happen. Not going to happen. And lo and behold, as we said, the heart is a muscle. And what happens when you deplete CoQ10? Muscles deteriorate, fatigue, atrophy. They're giving you a drug supposedly to help your heart. And it's doing the exact opposite of its intended effect. That's one of those moments. You know, I used to have those all the time watching stupid drug commercials, but that's a big one. Okay, why am I not advancing here, Phil?
You're doing the animation.
Oh, okay. How do you replace statins? With what food supplements? Prevent oxidation. And I wish you would have stayed a couple more minutes. But you need 200 to 400 milligrams a day if you're on a statin while we get you off that statin. Okay. 200 to 400. Most people over 50 need 200 to 300 anyway. You know, when you're young, you make a lot of CoQ10. As you age, you make less and less and less and less. And we need it badly. Omega-3 fatty acids will help. Why? Cholesterol is a fat. You need good fats to manage it. Omega-3s will do that. You need antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin E, alpha lipoic acid. I threw N-acetylcysteine in here not because it's a vitamin, but because when you combine N-acetylcysteine with vitamin C, you get glutathione, which is your body's master antioxidant. If you're deficient in NAC and vitamin C, then you probably aren't making any glutathione. And if you're not making it, it's a free radical scavenger. You have the super antioxidants. They're able to stop free radical damage without turning into one. Vitamin C is one. CoQ10 is one. Glutathione is one. Grapeseed, my all-time favorite antioxidant. Love this stuff. Get to that in a minute on blood pressure. Astaxanthin, powerful, powerful antioxidant. And we now have it in a 12 milligram dose back here by Healthy Origins. Quercetin, we've always known about it because it's always been in Air Max, one of our best-selling formulas for respiratory health and antihistamine. But now it's gotten all this, it's been getting big play over the last couple of years, hasn't it? Because it also is an antioxidant that will cool down this cytokine storm being caused by the bioweapon. Let's see if they get me for that. And I'm not, by the way, I'm sorry, bioweapons. Okay. They get you with one. If they don't get you with that one, they inject you with the other. 2020, folks, this formula, I've talked about it before, has every one of these things in it. 2020 is such a great baseline antioxidant for everybody. It's got it's got A, C, E, selenium. It's got N-acetylcysteine. It's got quercetin. It's got grapeseed extract, all in one. That is your number one fighter against oxidation. You will not have a cholesterol problem if you have high antioxidants in your body. It was originally developed as an eye formula, correct, Phil? Because it has astaxanthin, zeaxanthin, and lycopene in the form of a patented, research, trademarked ingredient. And those are necessary for eye health. But antioxidants are necessary for good eye health. And you need powerful ones. It just so happens this has all those other ones in it too. And we looked at it one day and we said, my God, this is more than an eye formula. This is a baseline antioxidant that everybody should be on. You could also go with Cholesto Red, because Cholesto Red attacks it from the other end as well, preventing and destroying the oxidized cholesterol, not by stopping it. And a perfect example of food be your medicine, red yeast, it's hard to say sometimes, red yeast rice, okay, is a food used in all of the Asian countries all the time. And they have very little cholesterol issues. But it's the food that is the basis of the statin drugs. But it does it smoothly, naturally, gently in your body. It's a true example of letting food be your medicine, okay? Not the drug. All right, I'm going to move a little faster. ACE inhibitor, diuretics, beta blockers, antihypertensives. What are these? Calcium channel blockers. What are they all categorized as? Dangerous. A good one. Blood pressure meds. I can't believe I wrote this, and Phil, I can't believe you let this slide. I actually use the word side effects. There's no such thing. It should be adverse effects. I'm sorry. There's no such thing as a side effect. You know that, right? It's a marketing term used by drug companies to make it seem like, oh, it's not so bad. It's just a side effect. Bull. It's an direct adverse effect. Okay? These shots out there, there's no side effects to them. They're adverse effects. They're directly caused by what's being put in your body. The same with these drugs. Oh, look at this. Dry cough, increased potassium levels in the blood. That's not good. Fatigue, dizziness, headaches. People are looking at these and they go, well, that's not too bad. Loss of taste. Oh, that was a big problem, wasn't it, over the last couple of years? Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying the last couple of years. I just can't believe it. I remember the March Wellness Week, I think it was, before it all went to crap. Yeah, right after that, they closed it for the 2 weeks, 2 years ago. Yeah, flatten the curve, and we're 2 years plus in. But I remember everybody saying, well, what about this thing? We said, just do what you normally do for your immune system. And if everybody would have just done that and not panicked. Okay, now we get to the good ones. Decreased sexual function. Okay, that's not a good effect, is it? How about allergic reactions? That'll happen. Oh, pancreatitis. Anybody want that? No, we don't want that. It leads to pancreatic cancer. How about liver dysfunction? What about a decrease in white blood cells? What do you need them for? Your immune system. Swelling, angioedema. I mean, beta blockers. Come on. I mean, these are all bad. What do? You get cold hands. I went backwards on this, sorry. Cold hands and feet, fatigue, weight gain. Some of the less common ones? Oh, less common. I don't know what they consider less common. Depression, shortness of breath, trouble sleeping, trigger asthma attacks. low blood sugar, rapid heartbeat. Here's, don't need it, folks. These are not food-based medicines. They're killing you. And here we go again. I did this backwards. I don't know why that happened this time. I thought I was becoming a PowerPoint master, but
So you didn't need any help.
I said I didn't need any help, but oh well. How do you replace these drugs with food supplements, right? Let food supplements be your medicine. Grapeseed extract, there it is. For years, we've been prescribing 1 milligram per pound of body weight to regulate blood pressure, and it works. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you want 150 milligrams. If they only come in 100 milligram tablets or capsules, round up. Okay, but you need a minimum of 1 milligram per pound of body weight. CoQ10, you got to strengthen the heart, right? Because the statins are destroying it. Then we have 7 flowers. This is traditional Chinese medicine, folks. This is great stuff. Been around for thousands of years. All of the flowers in 7 flowers come from the blue flower family. And this is a very, very common traditional Chinese and Ayurvedic Indian medicine nutrient. Blue flowers. That's what makes 7 flowers work. There are 7 of them, but they're all from the blue flower family. And then we'll finish up here, proton pump inhibitors. I did it again. Side effects of proton pump inhibitors or PPIs. Headache, again, nausea, diarrhea, nice. Constipation. How do you get both? Okay, stomach pain, flatulence, oops, rash. I mean, come on, vomiting. Oh, those are nice. How about a supplement to replace a proton pump inhibitor? Cybezyme, #1 most effective digestive enzyme we have. Okay, it's the most full spectrum enzyme we have. Okay, and remember now, all you got to do is go on our Facebook or YouTube channel, watch this again, and on the screens, watch it on your phone or your tablet and do screenshots of these pages that you want to keep. That's all. You don't even have to write it down anymore. Cybezyme also has something in it called DPP Roman numeral 4. And I don't see that in very many, if any, other digestive enzyme formulations. And it helps your body better process gluten, which we need. Okay? Betazyme, much better for people with stomach acid issues, gallbladder issues. Okay, we know that, right? If you don't have a gallbladder, you absolutely must use Betazyme. If you're having just issues with your gallbladder, you want to use Betazyme. But you want to use digestive enzymes, not drugs, to handle the imbalance of acid. Okay, the imbalance. Because most of the time, allopathic doctors will tell you, if you have acid reflux, it's because you have an abundance of stomach acid. But the symptoms are the same whether you have too much or too little. And most of the time, it's too little. So Betazyme has betaine hydrochloride, which will stimulate the body's production of hydrochloric acid. Okay, again, stimulate the function instead of replacing it. Don't replace the function. Stimulate your body to do what it's supposed to do. It has oxbile in it. That's what's going to help with your gallbladder. Okay, your gallbladder takes what is it? It comes out of the liver. Bile. Gallbladder takes the bile and processes it and holds it and distributes it when it's needed. But if you don't have a gallbladder, that process can't happen. It's interrupted. So you need Betazyme. My final little thing here, okay, hopefully it will end with a little bit of humor. Acid reflux versus the little purple pill. You know the little purple pill, right? Prilosec, Pepcid. What's the other one? There's 3 of them that begin with a P. So my view is this. If you want to look like Larry the Cable Guy, then this little pill's for you. Do you ever see Larry the Cable Guy advertises Prilosec? You ever see him? Yeah. Does he look healthy to you? No. His waist is about a 65. He's overweight. He's unhealthy. and he eats anything he wants and takes his little purple pill. If that's what you want to do, go right ahead. Eat whatever you want. Take your purple pill. Enjoy it. It ain't going to last long because you'll be dead before long. Instead, you want Probezyme. Why? It supplies something called Bacillus coagulans, which is a soil-based probiotic. Guys, this is so important. It's Mother Nature's probiotic. It's the original probiotic because it's from the soil. Okay, soil-based probiotic. That's what's in Probezyme. A full digestive enzyme profile. And what do we always say when it comes to gut health? First, you got to repair it, right? You got to use GI Complete. Then you got to replenish it. You got to replenish it with probiotics, soil-based. Then you have to help the assimilation of nutrients. That's digestive enzymes. One chewable tablet. So remember, man does not live by food alone. We must supplement our diets. You must supplement food. Let food supplements be your medicine. The end. Went a little overtime. I'm sorry, but that was packed. There was a lot there. Any questions? There's a lot of information. Yes.
What's the best way to clear up skin problems like psoriasis?
Yeah, that's usually because it starts in the gut. So you take that three-pronged approach. First, you repair the mucosa. Okay? Get rid of toxins. Something like Paracleanse, Microgon, or Candy Kill. Let's get rid of excess fungus or excess bacteria. Usually it's fungus. Okay? Get rid of that, repair the mucosa, then replenish with a probiotic and take an enzyme to help now better absorb nutrients. That's what'll get rid of it. Because if you don't do that, it's just going to keep coming back. You got to go to the source, go to the cause, and the cause is always in the gut. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I was told my body does not absorb vitamin D. It has to be a water soluble.
There's no such thing as water soluble. If there is, it's not going to help you. You're not absorbing vitamin D because of what? Did you listen? Magnesium. You have a magnesium deficiency.
I take 2 every night.
It may not be enough. It may not be enough. Or maybe the form is not right for you. You need to see Jeff, have him test you on magnesium and dosage, along with vitamin D. And he'll let you know what your proper protocol for you is. Okay? You may also be deficient in other fat-soluble nutrients like A and K2. Okay? So I think you should get Jeff to test you. We need to find out where the exact deficiency is and what the right protocol is for you. You get that from Jeff. Okay? Get an appointment with him. And again, what about your cholesterol?
Everything tests good.
Yeah? What's your cholesterol level?
Oh, I don't know. He got a whole chart.
It may be too low. It may be too low. And without good and proper amounts of cholesterol, you can't make vitamin D. So there's 2 ways we can look at it, from cholesterol and from other deficiencies. See Jeff. Okay?
Yeah, I'll be 94 and I feel great.
94? What are you complaining about then?
Gonna make 100.
We should all get to be there. Come up here. Are we still on video?
Yeah.
Come here. Come on up here. Come on up here. What's your name?
George Gibson.
George Gibson. All right, look into the camera there, George. George is going. When are you going to be 94?
December 16th.
He's 93. This December, he's going to be 94 years old. Come on, a round of applause. Congratulations.
Dr. Sass told me I wasn't absorbing.
Okay.
Give me a water.
Good. All right. Well, still get tested by Jeff.
Yeah.
All right. Because we want to find out why.
Right.
All right. Good.
Okay.
Thanks, George.
Thank you.
Pleasure, man. All right. Are we done?
Want to say goodbye?
Oh, we can say goodbye? Okay, we'll say goodbye. All right, that's it for today. That's all. Save all the applause for the end. And listen, we're still here till 5. Make sure you get everything you need. And all week long, come on back. We got great workshops coming up the rest of the week, folks. So come on back. And if you can't make it, they'll all be up there. Facebook page, World of Wellness. YouTube page, World of Wellness.